Hello everyone, and welcome back to some Lords of the Fallen. Here we pick up mid-invasion in Fitzroy's Gorge. Notice the host is not an umbral yet, and this will come into play later and will lead into probably the coolest PvP death I have ever had in Lords of the Fallen. Now in this area, since the host is not an umbral, I don't have a lot of help even just from the little silly umbral guys, so I've been running around trying to do chip damage with the little umbral summon and hit the host and cooperator with rosemund sword wherever I can, and also having the dodge the umbral eye socketed, where they wither damage for me dodging, is a huge help. Now the host, um, they run and jump off that bridge, and as you can see, uh, I come up to wave because I'm Elden Ring coded, and then they respawn behind me, push me, and have extra health, and then just shove me off of the ledge. I do not know whether or not that was intentional, but my goodness was that cool. I could not have been happier that they killed me that way. Like, and that is something only possible in Lords of the Fallen and the Souls likes. I don't know whether or not they're just trying to get a quick health recovery from the Umbral transition, whether or not they expected me to come over and try to wave at them, but my goodness, if that was intentional, what a read. That, yeah, that was just absolutely crazy. And then here, there's just a nice little cleanup one, so I can finish the intro and say welcome in, because my goodness, with that first invasion was crazy. So I'm back with my level 110 Umbral build, and this time I'm testing out Rosemund's sword. Now, the first time I was running this build before some of the bigger patches, I felt that this longsword was a bit underwhelming. It does have 150 frost buildup, but I think also part of it is I was just not using it as well as I could have. I think I was trying to two-hand it and use it as like a poise break tool, more than just a nice little AoE slash and with my shield, which is being a heavy shield is very, very useful because it can cause light weapons to bounce. So here, which is normally death because I'm just like in the middle of two guys spamming light attack, I was able to block, cause the host to recoil, and then get an attack in myself to finish them off. So that was really cool and really smart playing. Um, So yeah, having a heavy shield is really useful, and being able to just like calmly just try and like block and stun someone out of a corner is that's cool. And that was not I don't know how I would have gotten out of that situation in Elden Ring if I didn't have Endure on my main hand weapon already. And now this invasion is a little bit showing off what I think like meta kind of looks like for Lords of the Fallen. There's not really like a meta level, I don't think, or really just like setups, but um, Pieda's sword is incredibly common, especially like with the smite buildup. That is very similar to bleed in Elden Ring, even though I've said it several times, and there is bleed in this game, but it does function a bit differently. And I think the shield that I'm using, forgive me, I do not remember the name, is like the most common, it is the most common shield among like by higher level I mean like higher player level, not necessarily higher skill level plays, because it has 2 slots for magic regeneration and a slot for health regeneration. And so it's just, and being a heavy shield with relatively low weight and low stat requirements, it is yeah, it's good. And now here for the final invasion, it's just a little bit of a longer one. In Brahma's castle, it's in like the main castle area, and I think in Lords, just like these larger area with also with enemy invasions, it's just cool. It gives a lot more feel to like Legacy, like Elden Ring Legacy dungeons or like Dark Souls trilogy invasions, where everything is just like a little bit more focused. There is still areas where like you, it's still cut off so that they can't like run through the level and progress to a fog wall, but there's certainly way more to interact with and have a huge fight, and that I think it's really cool, and it's just kind of shows where everything kind of just like shines in Lords. But yeah, so longswords are pretty good. I think there are some definitely with like better damage output in terms of like Fitzroy's sword. I think is probably one of the best longswords, especially because of its rune configuration. It can do like extra Grievous Strike damage, and being able to pick up your Grievous Strikes in PvP is like the best way to to finish somebody off, even from like full health, So, um, like Fitzroy's sword is really good. I don't know if they, I can't tell if the host voluntarily umbral transitioned there, or if they just had passive burn damage from the Rogar Berserker. Now, down in this area, I do a quick loop. I don't know if they cleared it out already, but there are a lot of enemies that definitely like to jump players whenever they go down there, and it also gives me a little bit of extra time to grab Heavenly Vials, because certainly I did not have time to for anything as soon as the invasion started, since we all started right next to each other. Again, icicle spears have been amazing. Same with corpse wave. There's probably like a slightly better like fifth little spell slot that I could use, but the umbral lump and the little summon guy are great, and even though I'm not using a poison weapon to capitalize, just the how consistently corpse wave hits from, if you can give yourself some cast time, is just awesome. I still need to test like a radiant caster setup, and I definitely haven't tested out an ammunition build yet, which I'll get to if Slay the Spire 2 hasn't been completely distracting me, which it has. But yeah, as this invasion is coming to a close, I hope you've been enjoying the action. And even if you haven't been playing Lords of the Fallen, hopefully you can still appreciate some of the really cool things that it's been doing. So thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!